Baby food for thought. I'm Jason Horton.
I'm Rebecca Lieb.
And this is Ghost Town.
Very few companies have branding so ubiquitous with the American family as the Gerber baby logo. The logo, as I'm sure you know, is a black and white hand-drawn depiction of a healthy infant, eyes wide, mouth open, presumably to receive Gerber's number one product, baby food. There's no mystery as to why Gerber has been so successful, supplying America with baby food and products under this adorable logo for almost 100 years. No. The real mystery is, who is this baby? Not such a hard question until you realize it's taken almost 100 years to answer. Today we're talking about the mysterious identity of the Gerber baby, the face of America's number one baby food. Gerber was founded in 1927 in Fremont, Michigan by Daniel Frank Gerber, owner of the Fremont Canning Company, which made canned fruit and vegetables. The story deviates, but it kind of goes like this. At the suggestion of a doctor, Gerber's wife, Dorothy, began making hand-strained baby food for their 7-month-old daughter, Sally. One day, after a visit to her infant daughter's pediatrician, Dorothy toiled in the kitchen, straining fruits and vegetables for her child. After much hard work, she suggested to her husband, Daniel, whose family, of course, already owned the Fremont Canning Company, that they should create a baby food in an industrial setting, lightening the load of mothers everywhere. Another interpretation still of this story is that Daniel came home to his wife looking strained and miserable in the kitchen, not wanting to, quote, exchange his beautiful wife for this kitchen-bound monstrosity. His words, not mine. He then invented the Gerber baby food product line. Whatever story you believe, Daniel, his wife Dorothy, wanted to create something to ease women's suffering in the kitchen and for, of course, a business opportunity. Thus, Daniel Gerber began making baby food under the Gerber Canning brand. Less than a year later, he had developed 5 products for the market: beef vegetable soup and strained peas, prunes, carrots, and spinach. 6 months after that, Gerber's baby food was distributed to eager American households nationwide. But before it went national, it needed a good mascot. So rewind to the summer of 1928. Gerber held a photo contest for the star baby that would be the face of its new line of baby foods. A children's illustrator named Dorothy Hope Smith heard about the contest. Smith was born on October 1st, 1895, a Chicago kid from a lower-middle-class upbringing who studied illustration at my alma mater, the School of the Art Institute of Chicago. After Smith became a commercial illustrator specializing in babies and children, she worked on some high-profile projects. Her illustrations appeared in ads for Procter & Gamble, Woman's Home Companion, Parents Magazine, and more. Subsidizing her commercial work was her side work, the illustration of children's books for Putnam, along with other magazine covers. In essence, Dorothy Smith was already a pro. Though the call for entries specifically asked for photos, Smith sent a simple yet artful charcoal drawing of a 4-month-old baby. Smith never intended it to be her final entry, but rather a simple sketch of what she was capable of. She attached a note to her entry asking, quote, "Is this what you're looking for? If so, I can make a more finished version." Weeks went by and she still didn't hear anything, so she thought maybe they hadn't liked her work. Until they did. Weeks actually went by before the judges even saw the entries, and when they did, they chose her simple sketch as the mascot, just the way it was. Smith was awarded $300 for the rights to the drawing. A lot of money in the 1920s, but only around $5,000 today. The sketch first appeared on boxes of Gerber's cereal food and was christened the Gerber Baby. In the 30s and 40s, Smith's drawing was so popular, the company offered prints for 10 cents each and sold thousands. The Gerber baby's popularity begged the question, who was this baby? In a way, Gerber wanted this. They wanted every family to identify their own child in the eyes of the Gerber baby drawing. It unified customers with the product in a very real way. But some people, instead of feeling unified by a drawing, more so wanted answers. And things became a bit more complicated. People began suing Gerber for invading their privacy, thinking the iconic drawing was their child, and that the artist had somehow gotten a glimpse and made a drawing from them. Dorothy Hope Smith was called to testify for the company at various trials and hearings, attesting that no, the baby was a random one she'd used briefly as a model. Since there were, of course, no model releases involved or documentation as to who Smith actually drew, it was her word against the angry families thinking the Gerber baby was their own kid. Gerber would win these lawsuits, but they recognized a problem. To avoid more legal headaches, they did actually have to know who the baby was. After a couple more pesky lawsuits, the company asked Smith for the baby's name and address in order to get them to have a release signed, or for their parents to do so. She eventually provided this, and the company did not disclose this information to anyone. It became a company secret for decades, feeding on speculation, romance, and a little bit of celebrity notoriety just for fun. So who did people think the Gerber baby was? And who were they? We'll tell you after the break.
Hi, hello, how are you?
Hello.
How are you doing?
Hello, hello.
We are checking in.
This is the check-in.
We want to say hello to anyone who's listening, supporting us, spreading the good word of Ghost Town. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Sorry, I just hiccuped into the mic. It's that kind of day.
Yeah.
You know?
You're so real.
I'm just real for you.
You're so real.
I can't help it.
You'd be surprised what I edit out. Actually, you wouldn't be surprised.
I'm not surprised
You'd be
at all.
like, that was good.
It would be
edited
3
that out."
sentences.
Yeah.
It would be 3 sentences if you knew what was going on in my head.
Hello, hello, hello to our government, especially the mayors.
The mayors.
You know, they were celebrity babies at this point, too.
Whenever I write up an episode, I always think about what this break will be. And I'm glad we're here.
And just so people know, when we do these breaks and we kind of talk about the government, it's all on the fly. There's no planning.
It really
Are you
is.
surprised?
They're like, no shit, dude.
Yeah. So we got a couple of celebrity babies. You didn't even know that some of these products even had celebrity babies.
No. Oh, God.
You don't have any idea that they did. Well, once upon a time, this mayor was the celebrity baby for Lockheed Martin.
Wow.
They really tried to, they were like, yeah, it's missiles and defense, but look at this cute baby.
Yeah, this baby can do it. So can we.
That's Ashley Matson.
Hello.
This mayor was the celebrity baby of another beloved company, BP Oil. Didn't really help that oil spill, but was
look at
a
this
celebrity.
baby.
But look at this baby.
Mm-hmm. The baby's actually bathing in oil.
That's Cat Roselle.
Hello.
Naturally. This mayor was a celebrity baby of cute little company, cute little mom and pop, JP Morgan Chase.
Wow.
That said, family biz. Never did no harm to nobody.
Oh, a little hole in the wall.
That's Casey Weber.
Hello.
This mayor was a celebrity baby of fun, cute little company. Sadly is no longer a company.
How sad are we?
Enron.
The Enron baby?
Yeah.
Oh, iconic.
One of the biggest celebs. That's Kelly Mann.
Hello.
You got to remember this celebrity baby. Then when you went out and you're like, oh, the next time I want to buy a Boeing.
You want to buy a Boeing?
Yeah, you just buy like 1 or 2 Boeings, as we do in America.
Like a half a Boeing. I'm trying to quit.
That's Matthew Clemens LeRae.
Hello.
This is a newer company
Hmm.
that is sadly no longer. But they used a baby photo from this mayor. They went back because they were like, this is the perfect baby. She's like,
Yeah.
I'm no longer a baby.
Yeah,
Like,
she's
we want to use the baby
full-ass
photo.
adult.
They're like, all right, whatever. I believe in your company.
Mhm.
Theranos.
The Theranos baby?
The Theranos baby.
It's actually one drop of tiny baby blood from that little baby finger.
That's dark. But you know what? That's Marissa Rothermel.
Hello.
And our governor. Loving it.
Ooh.
Loving it. Loving
yeah.
it. Loving it. Loving all of it. On a phone call with Boeing. At a phone call with Lockheed Martin.
Mm-hmm.
At a phone call with Nestle. Like,
Yeah.
Bayer. Like all the baddies. Just on the phone with all the baddies. Flying in a Boeing.
Yeah, exactly.
Flying in a Boeing.
She's actually straddling 2 Boeings.
Boeings.
They're just like tethered her. She's skiing on the Boeings.
Yeah, it's just like
how that's possible.
Lockheed Martin's like, hell yeah.
Yeah, it's like a trail of fucking oil and debris behind her.
As the baby and the adult
Mhm.
of Monsanto. Just blowing those seeds.
Part of her life, she gets to be a mascot.
I love the Monsanto stories where like a seed will fall into
Yeah.
somebody's farm. They're like, oh, now we own that farm. It's
Yeah.
great.
It's so
It's also similar
great.
to like where somebody's like, oh, you injured yourself in Disneyland or Disney World, but when you bought a subscription to Disney Plus, you said it's okay that you just
Yeah.
broke your face in Disneyland.
Yeah. You're like, I can't not buy into this company.
Yeah. So in your, it's that kind of corruption that we love from our governor.
Avian Noble.
If you want no ads, no chit chat, bonus episodes, new one up now. I pinned it on the Patreon.
Hell yeah.
Very interesting one.
You liked it?
I did. Yeah, I was very compelled. When I start looking up photos like crazy,
Yeah.
I'm very into it. 7 days free. Head on over to patreon.com/ghosttownpod.
Let's get back to the babies. As the years went on, the identity of the Gerber baby remained a mystery, a company secret held under lock and key. This was obviously for legal reasons, but it became much bigger than that. The more it was held in secrecy, the more the public wanted to know. In a poll taken across the United States, people speculated as to the identity of the Gerber baby. Guesses ranged from movie stars Humphrey Bogart and Elizabeth Taylor to Senator Bob Dole. Over the years, there have also been rumors of the actress Jane Seymour being the Gerber baby. Those polls evolved into another urban myth about the Gerber baby, that the 1940s movie tough guy Humphrey Bogart posed for the drawing as an infant. Again, feeding into the poll, feeding into celebrity culture. This didn't come out of nowhere, though, as the star from Casablanca, The Maltese Falcon, and The African Queen's mother, Maude Humphrey, was a well-known commercial illustrator in the early 1900s. She was so successful, her artwork was rumored to have earned more money than her husband, a cardiopulmonary surgeon. Maude Bogart actually did use a drawing of her son in a Mellon's baby food advertising campaign, an early Gerber competitor. And yet, Humphrey Bogart, good guess, but not the Gerber baby. Some believe that Sally Gerber was actually the Gerber baby. This theory made a lot of sense, seeing as the company was inspired by her parents' need to feed her. But Sally was not the Gerber baby. Just a couple people did know who the Gerber baby was, including Midwest schoolteacher Ann Turner Cook, who didn't know the truth until decades later, when lawyers went to her to sign a release, that she, in fact, was the Gerber baby. So all of these lawsuits, Gerber had to find out who the Gerber baby was. Now, Smith, the illustrator, gave them information, but they couldn't track down who the Gerber baby was with that information. So it was kind of a persistent search for this woman, until the baby, now all grown up, was Ann Turner Cook. Ann's husband had just returned from the war, and they had very little money. She says in interviews that the compensation by Gerber for her signature for the release gave the couple a head start in their post-war married life. Cook was actually shocked being contacted by Gerber and being told that she is the Gerber baby, but had lived so long not knowing that she was this cultural icon. She was a school teacher, teaching kids by day and, as a hobby, writing mystery novels at night. In countless interviews she's given since, Cook most graciously points out, quote, "It's not an achievement of mine, it's an achievement of the artist. Dorothy Hope Smith deserves the credit because she captured the image of a happy, healthy baby. That's what all mothers hope that their baby will be." Spoken like a true, humble Midwesterner, I would say. As the years went on, Cook enjoyed her strange claim to fame, but she never really capitalized on it. Well, except for a featured guest appearance in one 1990 episode of To Tell the Truth. Smith, the original illustrator, worked regularly from the 1920s until her death in 1955, where she died at age 60, serving as a successful commercial illustrator for many, many products. And on June 3rd, 2022, Cook, the Gerber baby, passed away at the ripe old age of 94. Of course, Gerber lives on and eventually became a major company in the baby food industry during all of this. Currently, it still lives on, offering more than 190 products in 80 countries with labeling in 16 languages. As of 2017, Gerber controls 61% of the baby food market in the United States, all under the inviting smile of a young Ann Turner Cook.